welcome back. Since I now have a better idea, or finally a good idea of what happened to my knee, I also know that I need to take it a lot easier, at least until I get more follow ups. So I will continue to do shorter, smaller training sessions more frequently, hopefully. And I will also be minimizing all my rotating movement, which was already something that I was doing, but I'll try to do a few different things today. So let me know what you think. So first, as usual, we'll start with Kihon, basic movement drills, and a little bit of stationary drills too today. So let's start with just some basic movement. Okay, let's do that again. Trying to focus in on the hips. Yeah, definitely stiff. And trying to get used to keeping a shorter position so that there's less stress on the knee. Obviously, there's more stress when you're very low compared to when you're up. So it's a question of trying to maintain the same correct position. Knee over the toes, width of the hips, the angle of the foot, etc. Like, so you're trying to keep all of that while being much higher when my entire life I've been down here is quite the challenge. Need to rework the body mechanics. So let's do that again one last time. My body wants to keep going. Feels like I'm stopping in the middle of my movement. Okay, I'll have to keep working on that. There's more movement to do, actually. that's why you don't want the foot to be facing backwards. You want it to be perpendicular, or at worst case, a little bit facing forward. Hopefully you can see my feet, so not backwards. Perpendicular, or a bit forward, but ideally perpendicular. And that's because if you're backwards, it's a lot, you don't have as many options to generate power going forward compared to if you're sitting perpendicular, your hips can launch. And also for the balance of lifting the leg up when you get into Nico Ashidashi. That's enough. Actually, that's enough for movement. So next up, let's do a few stationary drills. So ideally, when you do this, you can look at yourself in a mirror. I have one right behind the camera, so that's what I'll be looking at. So I'll go through all the sequences of blocks and punches, starting with Ageuke, 5 of each for each arm, so 10 total. Sotoke, Uchuke, I lost count, but I think that's 10. Okay, down by. Same thing as everything with those drills in karate. You only get as much out of it as you put into it. So if you're not out of breath, even if in just that, just those few tens of moves, it's because you're not doing it right. More focus, more power, more endurance. There's a huge difference between I can do this forever and karate is about challenging yourself. So you're only cheating yourself if you're not giving it your all. Not cheating anyone else. Okay. More stationary drills. Just do a few punches. Start with Chudan. Okay, Jodan. too intense on my warm up. See, that's one advantage of training by yourself. If you need to stop for a second, slow down, speed up. Okay. Let's keep going with the stationary moves. Let's do a few combos. Let's start with a block punch. So again, Agyuke, and then Jodan. And then for the fifth, Chudan Jodan. Or I did that backwards. That was Jodan Chudan. But you get the concept. Okay. So again. Let's ignore that. Okay, let's do something a little bit that flows a little bit better. Looks like I need to focus more and work on my combos. Okay. So let's do it step by step. Okay. Then Jodan. Okay, next. That was a bit better. It's been a long time since I've done this, but that's no excuse. Okay, let's try the same, but with Sotoke. Whoa. Okay, slow down. If it's not working, slow it down. Then speed it back up. Sometimes you need to get the mental cobwebs out. Okay, now a bit faster. The other thing, your focus should be your arm. So you could be focusing on accuracy, right? Am I always hitting exactly the same spot? Or you could be focusing on your speed, right? You could be focused on your power, delivering as much as you can in every blow. On that one, I noticed the hip movements felt a little bit odd and accentuated to me, so I sort of focused on that. But the point is that there's several things you can focus on, and you don't need to always be working on the same thing. If you do, you won't be a very well-rounded martial artist. You'll notice, unfortunately, I'm not really working kicks today. That's just because I want to try to spare my knee as much as possible. But obviously, you can take these drills and progress them. I'm gonna move on for now because, again, shorter training sessions, right? But you can add several movements, right? Even ones that we haven't practiced, and that includes roping in kicks, right? So just work with how I like to think about it is start with a basic, just 1 or 2 moves, run it through a few times, and then add 1 more move and run that a few times, 1 more move, run that a few times, etc. And that actually mimics very well how belt testing progression requirements work. So you're doing yourself a favor by doing that. Okay. With all that said, I'm going to move on to doing a few kata because shorter training sessions. I believe last time I had left off at Basai Dai, and I was going to do Jion, but before I get to Jion, I will still do a few heians just to get myself into the groove. So today I'll do the even heians. So starting with heian nidan. Heian nidan. Don't rush through it. Single, individual, intentional moves. Since I'm still trying to test my memory, I'll just do these once. So, heian nidan. Heian nidan. Next up, Gion.